Hello, my evolutionary energy arts family and friends. So this was sent in by Gene, and thank you, Gene, for this. This is very, very interesting, and a lot of you guys are probably going to freak out when you see this. So if you go to Google Translator and you put it in to translate from Yoruba to English, and you type in the text dog 22 times, you get this message. Doomsday clock is at 3 minutes at 12. We are experiencing characters and dramatic developments in the world which indicate that we are increasingly approaching the end of times and Jesus' return. So I've done this multiple times and it works out every time. So are you guys freaked out now? What do you think this is? Is this AI coming together with its own logical conclusions about things? So, dog, as we know, backwards is God. And so 22 is it's a special number as far as numerology goes. 22 is basically, it's the master number. And so the positive side of 22, it says 22 is the most powerful of all numbers, able to turn lofty dreams into realities, is confident, pragmatic, ambitious, and disciplined. Negative, impracticality and self-imposed pressure can get the better of the 22. When unaware of its own potential, the 22 will miss out on or shy away from necessary opportunities. So that's what the number 22 is, as far as looking at it in numerology. And so Yoruba, the language of Yoruba comes from the tribal people of Nigeria. And so Nigeria is here in West Africa. That's the location of it right there. And then translating into Samoan, and Samoan is the language of the Samoa and the Samoan people, which are Polynesian people here to the northeast of New Zealand, to the east of Australia. And so why these two languages? Why, when you punch that in, that's what you get, and it works every time. So with 22, it comes out to this message, and pretty wild stuff. So what is your guys' take on this? Is this AI, the AI intelligence behind Google Translator, deducting this on its own? Is this some insider trying to warn us? Is this predictive programming? Is this somebody doing this programming wise, and then maybe it gets leaked out to the public so that we will hasten the apocalypse and the second coming? What do you guys make out of all this? Now you can see this was actually caught from an article in The Sun, and it is actually real. So Doomsday Fear, Google Translate warns of apocalypse and bizarre end times message about the Antichrist. Because there's more. It's not just this. So warnings about the Doomsday Clock and the return of the Antichrist have left some Google Translate users worried. Fears of imminent apocalypse have been sparked by a mysterious warning from Google Translate. The language translation app is telling users that we are approaching the end times, and no one's quite sure why. And so when you put this in, dog 22 times, it comes out to the Doomsday Clock is 3 minutes at 12. We are experiencing characters and dramatic developments in the world which indicate that we are increasingly approaching the end times and Jesus' return. And so, as we were saying, Yoruba is a West African language. You could do it to English and it'll come out just saying dog. But 22 times in a row, and a sinister message appears, instead spotted as by the Daily Grail. So, Doomsday Clock, 3 minutes to 12, it begins. We are experiencing characters and dramatic developments in the world which indicate we are increasingly approaching the end times and Jesus' return. And so this bizarre message was first discovered by users of Reddit, several of whom have described it as creepy. But you know what too? Reddit, I have heard from many sources, is basically used by the government to get things out. And I have firsthand experienced huge what can I say, persecution by Reddit itself with some of my videos. And to the point where I was basically blocked off of Reddit totally, because there were some things they didn't want getting out. And so I did not have a great experience with the Reddit mobs. I felt that they were completely biased, many of them, and had an agenda. And I've heard that from multiple people as well. But Reddit is a great place to get the message out, for sure. And because there's so many people that do, do read it. So a tweak to the original message results in an even more concerning response about the Antichrist. The message originally worked on Hawaiian to English translations too, but now it seems to have been fixed. So what does this all mean? The doomsday clock is symbolic, obviously. It's how close we are to the end of the world. It specifically relates to man-made catastrophe like global warming or the threat of global nuclear war. And we know how we feel about global warming, most of us. The apocalypse is midnight, and the clock is regularly adjusted to show how many minutes to midnight we are. And you can see it's changed and gone from various lengths. And so 2018, we're at 2 minutes to midnight, which is as close as we've ever been. It started back off in 47 at 7 minutes to midnight. And since has been set backwards and forwards a further 23 times. Courtesy of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, Science and Security Board. So despite what the Google's message suggests, the clock is even more terrifying 2 minutes than the 3. Google's message about Jesus' return likely relates to the book of Revelation. That's the book in the New Testament of the Bible that describes the end of the world, including the coming of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and the return of Jesus to earth. Given the frosty relations between the U.S. and North Korea and other tensions with Russia and everything, it's easy to see how Google might have gotten the idea the world's about to end. But it isn't actually seeing into the future. Instead, this is likely a glitch relating to Google's machine learning systems, which helps Google understand how to translate from one language to another. Google pulls information from all over the web, so it's likely that Google Translate simply converted gibberish into more nonsense. Yeah, that's not likely, actually. Whoever's rating this, that's not likely, actually. This is either predictive programming. This is perhaps kind of like Cliff High's bots, web bots, where it's AI actually discovering what everybody is thinking, and everybody is thinking the second coming is imminent. So, or enough people are thinking that it's thinking that itself now. So that would be my guess on it. It's either predictive programming, it's a leak, or it's AI saying, well, with everything going on in the world, and we see the floods, we see all this stuff going on, then it's probably figuring out for itself that it must be the end of the world. So why these places? Why Nigeria over here in Africa, and why Samoa? And as it says, you could also translate it into different languages before, and it would work, but now it's not. Nigeria and Samoa. They look like they're spaced half a globe apart. Wonder if it has anything to do with the pole shift. Maybe we're getting the locations of the new North and South Pole, just throwing that out there. If there is something to it, maybe they're giving us a leak. Actually, I wonder if they're exactly apart from each other. It does look like that would work. Interesting. So, are those the new pole positions after the shift? Yeah. It's interesting. What is this a message about? So I wanted to share that with you guys and to get you guys thinking about this and getting your guys' opinion on this. We know how things are. We know what the world is, and how they use all these type of things to progress their agenda. And so, let's see. It was from Yoruba Let's see if we try a different language here. Let me refresh. And let's see if we go from Yoruba into English. Because supposedly, no, it still does work. Whether it's English, oh, it's comes out a little bit different now when you go into Samoan. Mama Nu Doomsday Clock at Tolo Minute. So, well, I guess it probably is the same thing. Yeah, it's giving the same message in different languages. Interesting. And so if they're doing numerology, what if we did 33? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because we know about 33 as well. Then it just comes back with dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, interesting. So, why 22? Today's the 23rd also. I mean, master numbers. You know, just throwing things out there, guys. I just wanted to get this out there. You guys play with it too. Figure out what you can figure out, and let's see what we come up with. So, my friends, as always, please do thumbs up to support the channel. Do subscribe and join us. Become part of the family. Click the bell so you get all the updates, and share with as many people. Let's wake up the world. Thank you, my friends. May you guys always be blessed with abundant peace, health, well-being, happiness, and all good things. May you live your lives up to the highest possibility, and always be kept safe, you and yours. God bless, my friends. Namaste.